I kind of think like the phrase World Economic Forum should be a curse word. I mean, look, whatever comes from the World Economic Forum is oftentimes anti-God. It is anti-truth. It is certainly anti-human because God so loved the world that he gave his only son. He wants to save the world, yet the World Economic Forum seems to want to destroy the world. Now, this is interesting because Soros recently spoke, and of course, this is at their World Economic Forum kind of bigwig thing in Davos. He recently spoke, and during that dinner, he actually said that civilization may not survive Putin's war in Ukraine. And then he goes on to warn of global depression. What a hack, okay? I can tell you this right now, that civilization will survive everything that we're seeing going on in Ukraine. By the way, this guy is actually saying, and I'll tell you why I know that in just a second, this guy is actually saying that this global depression is something that we need to focus on now, meaning the war in Ukraine, more important than all of the climate change stuff that he's been talking about. Now, don't get me wrong. They have been worshiping at the altar of climate change, but now he is saying we've got to focus our efforts on the situation in Ukraine because that is the bigger thing. He says that when we look back on history, we will see it as the beginning of World War III. Now, I can just simply tell you this. I can say we know how the world ends because the Bible tells us how the world ends. But what I want to warn you guys of is people like Soros are doing everything that they can to orchestrate the type of emergency mechanism that will justify their ability to rule tyrannically. When you go to the book of Revelation, you read about the white horse, you read about the red horse, the black horse, and the pale horse. The white horse is the ultimate tyrannical leader, which of course is the final Antichrist who brings about war. And because of the emphasis on war, it brings economic failure and destruction. And then, of course, what comes after that is death. That is what will ultimately happen. But mankind has created that according to Revelation chapter 6, and we are creating it right now. Not that we are in Revelation 6, we are seeing a shadow of things to come as it relates to mankind and what happens when mankind is left to their own failures, to their own foolishness, to their own wickedness. And folks, that's exactly what's going on. We are seeing people in the ruling class take on tyrannical rule. And as we give them that ability in the name of an emergency, they are warmongering. They are wanting to see this go on more and more because the war is their justification for their emergency action, which involves the removing of our freedom to worship God. Then we begin to see the economic failure, which is the global depression that this man is talking about because he's planning it. And then, folks, ultimately we see death. The rule here is to follow God no matter what because God says it will happen. And people fear-mongering in order to justify tyrannically taking away your freedoms is satanically inspired. It's a trick out of the book of the final Antichrist. Undoubtedly, the spirit of Antichrist is in this man, Soros, and he is one of many Antichrists that we know of will exist on this earth until the final Antichrist comes to do what he does in Revelation chapter 13. But folks, be aware. Watch out. These people are evil. Pay special attention. The world is changing, and it's changing rapidly, and we're moving closer and closer to that final day where God will come for us, his church, and we'll watch it all go down. We'll have front seats to the whole thing. It's going to be amazing. Keep your head up, folks. Jesus is coming soon, and fight for righteousness because I can tell you this, we're running out of time and God calls us to step up to the plate. God bless you.